friends, welcome to 2020. Today we're going to talk about the most common fabrics you might use in your burlesque costuming. Sequins, satins, and shears. First up, let's start with sequin. My favorite. Using sequin as a baseline for your costume project is a great way to add sparkle and pizzazz to anything that goes under stage lights, and this is before you even put rhinestones on it. It's a good baseline. It's opaque sequin, and this has stretch to it. This is technically four-way stretch, but really there's always one side that stretches a bit more. Another type of sequin you might run across is sequin on mesh, meaning that it's sheer. So this can be very sexy if you don't line it. The difference that you might notice between this sequin and the previous is this has a pattern on it, which can be super, super awesome if you place the pattern right. And it has a little bit of stretch. Sequin is a fabric type, but it comes in different content. The sequin I prefer that I just showed you is a stretch sequin. So meaning it is on a spandex or a lycra or some sort of stretch. I will include where to get that below. Let's talk satin. Satin talk. My favorite type of satin to use in costumes is Duchess. It's medium weight, which means that it's a bit thicker than normal and it has a low sheen. So as you can see in this light, it actually looks pretty shiny, but surprisingly, this is not a very shiny satin, which is a good thing. I do not prefer shiny satins unless they are for lining. Let's just say if it's in silk, it's great. If it's polyester and it's shiny, don't use it. Just don't. If you find yourself with a polyester that is the right color that you want, but it's too shiny, just flip it over. Use the backside. Yeah. There are quite a few different types of satin. There's crepeback satin, stretch satin, satin charmeuse, Duchess satin, regular ass satin, and it's a lot. There's a lot. It's a lot to choose from. The majority of the time, most satins you'll run across are polyester, and that is fine. If you're gonna use satin as a main fabric for your costume, go with the Duchess or something a bit thicker. And again, like I said before, stay away from the shiny. What is the difference between this polyester Duchess satin and this silk satin? Well, as you can see from this, not very much. Obviously, this is ivory and this is white. That's about it until you start sewing it. Oh, this is like a dream. Duchess satin runs you like 60 bucks a yard. Polyester satin, like $7. So there's a reason why it's more expensive. It just sews like a heaven and it presses really nice. And most people just use it for wedding dresses. Wedding dresses. There is another type of satin that you might run across, and it's called satin charmeuse. Satin charmeuse is wonderful when it's silk. Yeah. Polyester satin charmeuse, just be careful. Just be careful. Be wary of buying it off of a site that sells it for like $1 a yard by the bolt, because if you're gonna go with a polyester charmeuse, there are a few reasons you can use it and it'll work really well. Anything that is flowy, that doesn't have a lot of seams, because polyester satin, whether it's Duchess, whether it's charmeuse, wants to pucker. If you use it for something flowy or like a panel skirt or robe, it's fine because there's few seams. So go for it. If you're going to use it for something really fabulous that has a lot of pattern pieces and things on the outside, just go with the silk version. Make sure that what you're making can handle it being made in a charmeuse, because charmeuse is very lightweight. All that being said about polyester charmeuse, there are some that are pretty rad. This is my favorite type. There's only one place I can ever find it, on Etsy. It comes from a place in LA. I'll include the link below. It has a little bit of stretch. It's really lightweight. I love this for robes. I love this for panel skirts. Think flowy. Think big fluffy sleeves. Have fun. Yeah, I'll include a link. Yay! Now let's talk shears. Shears you'll mostly use for panel skirts and robes, just like a charmeuse, but see-through. This is a polyester chiffon. It has a metallic thread through it, so it has some glimmer. But yeah, as you can see, it's sheer and very drapey. So this is great for fabulous moments on stage. Chiffon, both in polyester and in silk, can be really tricky to sew. It fusses around a lot, so you don't want to do anything with a lot of seams. You have to hem it using a serger or a rolled hem, or even if you just take fray check and go all around the edges. It's a pain in the ass. That's what I'm trying to say. It's gorgeous, it's a pain in the ass. What I like to use is mesh. Mesh mimics the properties of polyester chiffon. but it's way easier to work with. It has some stretch, so it's super durable, so you can step on this by accident, you can throw it in a suitcase, you can have it for years. And also, in order to finish the edges, you don't have to. You can roll it and do that if you want, but you could just also cut it, so it's a little bit more user-friendly. If you are using chiffon and you need to mimic something that is like water or fire, use silk. Silk chiffon is the right type of fabric to use if you really want something that will catch the air and look like it's floating around you. So it's great, again, for mimicking fire or water. Otherwise, you're fine with a polyester or a mesh. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about fabrics. I hope this helps you in your fabric journey towards making the costume of your dreams. One thing to remember, fabric type is not the same as fabric content. And knowing that and moving forward will help you decide what's right for what you want out of your costume. Coming up later this month, I want to start sharing some behind the scenes admin style video tutorials. For those of you out there who want to take your sewing skills to the next level and start taking on commissions and working with clients, I want to talk to you about how to write up invoices and estimates, and most importantly, how to talk to your client about money, because that can be a really hard conversation to have. I'm going to share with you what I do, and hopefully it'll help you along your way.